Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo of the 2020 Hyundai Sonata. And this features the 12-speaker Bose audio system found here in the limited trim. This is going to be an in-depth sound system review. We're going to listen to some sample tracks, check out how the infotainment system works, and look at inputs and adjustments and all that good stuff. Get out on the road, listen to some tracks while we're rolling. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at the car. Unfortunately, it's still raining. I did not expect that, but we've only got a limited amount of time to shoot the car. It's got to go up to Chris at the Topher, and sometimes you just got to make do with what you got. It's been a wet, rainy week here in the fall in Michigan, so hopefully that doesn't interrupt the sound too bad once we're rolling. Hopefully the rain continues to die out as it should. But this is the hybrid model of the Sonata. It features the same audio system as the normal gasoline car, so we figure this covers both. If you want to see more on this car, check the links in our description to full review and the highway fuel economy test. We'll also link to the standard gasoline Sonatas review. So we always do these tests with uncompressed lossless WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the audio system and high quality binaural microphones, giving you the most realistic audio system test experience on YouTube. Now yes, YouTube compresses its audio, so you won't get the same exact experience I'm getting, but at least I'm listening to all these cars with lossless, uncompressed audio to get the best impression of them. We also do these tests with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. We've got standard front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance, some volume adjustments, Bose center point, which creates sort of a holistic 3D experience, and speed compensation, so as you get louder, the music gets louder. And tone, you've got bass, mid-range, and treble. So let's go through those now. We'll do most of the tests, maybe about half with center point on, and then turn it off part way so you can sort of see the difference. But I will actually turn it off right now to give you an idea. So it just sounds like a little simpler, a little bit more flat, but also a little more true to the true sound of the music with center point off. Some people prefer the sound of center point. I haven't quite made up my mind. Typically, I prefer it without center point for more complex music, but simple, easy listening, it is nice to have. For audio inputs in the Sonata, you've got your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto support. You've also got USB-A, and that is it. So what are you missing? Well, you don't have a disc player, and you also don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. Not the end of the world here in 2020, but they would be nice to see. For audio controls, you've got a nice, easy-to-turn volume knob here, good detents, good feel. You've also got a volume rocker on the steering wheel, very simple to use, even though you can see there's a little bit of play in it right there, a little wiggle. Track selection, you can either use the touch screen, you can use these touch-sensitive buttons over here, or you can use the rocker knob on the steering wheel as well. Speaker grill location, as I said, you've got 12 speakers in the Sonata Limited. 1, 2 in the door, 3, 4, 5 up front, 6, 7 other door, 8, 9 that door, no sorry, just 8 in the door, 9, 10, 11 in the rear back deck, and then 12 in that door. No subwoofer in the Sonata, much to its demise. Really doesn't have the best bass, as we'll find out here in a few songs. Alright, let's get on the road. Look at that, just as I hoped, the rain has stopped, a little bit of sunlight, and then it should start raining again just in time for us to be done with the test. Frequent viewers of our channel will know this next song can really test the limits of an audio system. So let's turn it on now, see how the Sonata's Bose system handles it. Turn center point off now. So the upsides of the Sonata, listening to the song, nothing is too vague or harsh on my ears, but at the same time, I'm really lacking the crispness and the power that I would expect from a little bit more of a high-end sound system. Typically, the Harman Kardon systems, they have a little bit more pump to them, and not having a subwoofer, that's hard to do. Not impossible, but difficult. Speaking of subwoofer, for this next song, we'll turn the bass all the way up, give it a test. Coming through fine enough. When you get on a really bass heavy song, especially like a mid to low bass like this, it can come through pretty well from those door speakers, but it is lacking from the kind of upper end bass as well as the low deep rumbling bass. We really don't have much mirror shakeage going on. Pretty straightforward standard subwooferless bass. Highway speeds, turn the music down here and let you get an idea for what the car sounds like at 70 miles per hour. Keep in mind there is some water on the highway, so it'll be a little bit louder for that and the cars around, but overall the Sonata is pretty good for the class. So wrapping up my thoughts on the 12-speaker Bose audio system here in the Hyundai Sonata Limited. I'm a little bit disappointed. Bose systems tend to provide a very straightforward listening experience. They're almost always somewhere between a 7 and a strong 8.5, close to a 9 depending on audio inputs and everything. But strictly sound experience, it's like a 6.5 to 8.5 typically. And this one's coming in much more like a 5.5. There's no bottom end to the sound. Things are very, very hollow and way too bright, way too top end. I found myself having to go to the sound settings crank the bass all the way up to 9 and bring the mid-range down right here to get a good sound system experience. And I shouldn't have to do that. The centered out sound settings are what the sound engineers decided to sound best. So it's weird and a kind of a weird, I won't go as far as to say mistake, but just a poor system from Bose. And I'm kind of surprised by that, especially in the Sonata that is so good in so many other ways. So if I were given an objective rating to this holistic system, I'd be giving it a 5.5. No auxiliary input jack, no disc player, and lackluster sound quality. Fortunately, the infotainment screen's very good, and it does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support. Now, for the family sedan class, coming in around $36,000 for this top-level model, I would bump this up to about a 6.5. It can sound good on certain music. It sounds pretty good for talk radio, especially with the Bose center point. And it does have all the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, like I said, that you need. Hope you guys were able to get a good impression for the system. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Check out our other Sonata content and other sound system reviews. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.